Hi everyone, Adrian here, mortgage broker based in Sydney, and on this channel we talk about all things lending, investments and finance. Now on this particular video we're going to talk about depreciation schedules. Now there was a particular chatter on a Facebook investment group recently around, should you be focusing on new property to get the depreciation benefits, or if you were looking at existing property, should you only look at property inside of a certain couple of years? Because if you don't, you won't get a depreciation schedule and you won't get a lot of tax benefits. Okay, a lot of people use these kind of strategies to get a property that's, quite cash flow positive, maybe 4.5, 5, 6% yield. Okay, but when they've got a depreciation schedule on, say, a 500k property, they could be getting 8, 10, 12 grand worth of tax benefits a year for the next kind of 30 to 40 years. So a lot of people like depreciation schedules because it not only allows you to bring the cash flow in, it also allows you to have a tax benefit of the property going down in value. Okay, so the outside shell as well as the inside of the property. Now, my view on depreciation schedules are, and we'll talk about new or existing property. I don't see house and land packages right now, and my focus at the moment is in the Brisbane market. I don't see it as of any value. So I'll give you a couple of examples. I bought property at anywhere between 388 to say 410,000 in the majority of areas that I bought in Brisbane, and in those same areas and surrounding areas, there's been dual key properties over kind of 550 to 650. Okay, that's two units inside of the same property where you get a higher rental yield. And I see house and land packages in the same suburbs that I'm buying at high 3s to low 4s. I'm seeing anywhere from say 500 to 600,000. So you're seeing almost 100 to 200 grand difference from the new stock to the existing stock at the market. Now, I'm very numbers focused, so if I can buy one of my properties was 388 in the Ipswich area in Western Brisbane, and I was getting 400 rent from it straight away, plus I've got the ability of putting a granny flat in the back of it at a 50 square meter granny flat in the back at 260 to 280 a week. So when all's said and done, I'm going to be sitting on 660 to 680 rent, coming out of a capitalisation of 388 plus one bedroom granny flat, which most likely would be around 115 to 120,000. Okay, so I'll be capitalised at around 500,000, and I'll be getting 660 to 680 rent from that property. All right, now when I put the granny flats on, I can order a depreciation schedule on the new build on the back. So that's one benefit that I can get. And that's one benefit that I've kind of done, where I've put 120 grand granny flat in for a one bedder. And I'm getting, in excess of 260 to 280 rent in. All right, so if you look at it from a pound for pound basis, I'm probably getting in excess of say 12% to 13% on my money that I'm putting in. So my view is I'm always numbers focused. One thing I don't look at is I don't look at house and land packages. I just think that they're overpriced, cookie cutter, and especially around Brisbane area on the outskirts, there's almost like unlimited land in certain areas that they're releasing over the next kind of 10, 20, 30 years. So one, I want to be in an area that when you look at the suburb, you see a low vacancy rate. Two, I don't want to see a whole lot of release of land within a suburb of where I'm buying. Three, I want good access to your train stations, your public transport, and I need proximity to the CBD. All of my properties are within, say, 35 to 40 k's of Brisbane CBD. And really, some of the properties, I mean, even if they're built in the 90s, you can still get a depreciation schedule on it. But that doesn't mean that you're going out of your way to buy brand new stock. So I'll give you an example. My fourth property was a dual key that was 5 or 6 years old that I bought, and I'm getting a 35-year depreciation schedule on it. All right, and if you look at the price that I got it for and what they built it for and what the minimum in that suburb is for, look, I'm just going to call my fourth property, my investment property, a unicorn property. I would say that it's a 1 in 1,000. You can't really replicate this deal that I've got. But let's just say I'm revaluing it this week. I'm pulling out enough money and I'm buying 2 units, and I'm using that topped up money as a deposit, and I'm buying another house. So I'm funding 3 deposits out of the top up money from my fourth investment property. That's how good a deal is that I got it for. All right, so I'm still buying something that's new, so 5 years old. I'm still getting the depreciation benefits. I'm still getting a yield of in excess of, I think it's like 8.7 or 8.8% yield on a dual key property. And, I'm in a position where I'm revaluing it the week after settlement. I'm pulling a deposit out for 3 separate properties, so 2 units and 1 more house. All right, so that's my view on depreciation schedules and which types of properties you should be targeting. As investors, we should be targeting numbers, not properties. Okay, if it's an older property, sure, you want to make sure that it's well kept. Okay, you want to make sure that you check the building report that it's good. But I mean, some of these properties that are built in the 60s, 70s, and 80s, they're bulletproof. They're going to be around for the next 100 years easy. There's no point. And really, you can get some great prices on them. And a lot of the time, if you look at them on the interior, they've all been done up. People have pride in their properties, especially in the main cities. All right, so my view is normally existing. I won't even look at new stock. It has to be at least 3 to 5 years old. And I'm only buying it if I see a really good deal. Okay, depreciation is just, think of it as the cream on the top. Okay, you don't buy investments for depreciation. It's just an extra benefit that you could get if you buy, anything under 30 to 35 years old, or any property that has an existing renovation in it, or obviously what I'm doing, half of my properties will have depreciation because I'm building granny flats in the back of pretty much every one of the houses that I buy. All right, so hopefully this just gives you a good idea on depreciation, what kind of benefits you can get out of it. That you need to speak with a qualified quantity surveyor. Normally you speak with your accountant first and then they refer you to a good quantity surveyor. But you pay a once-off fee. Normally it's between $500 to $800 depending on how itemized the list needs to be. You pay a once-off fee and then you get a tax benefit for the next 30 to 40 years, depending on how old the property is and how old the renovation is. All right, so really hope that you've enjoyed this video, enjoyed the value add, and if you do like the channel, please subscribe to the channel, like the video, share the content, and leave me a comment, guys. I would really appreciate it. All right, we'll see you on the next video. All right then, bye.